Let's face it, choosing the perfect flooring can feel absolutely overwhelming. And if you pick the wrong one, it could be a $5, $10, or $20,000 mistake that you could end up regretting as long as you own your home. My name's Carrie, a designer here at Penny Modern, and I'm about to save you from that nightmare by sharing with you 5 of the top designer-approved flooring trends for this year that are gonna give you a luxury look to your home. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a bonus section of 3 flooring trends that you definitely want to avoid unless you want your home to look instantly dated. But let's get right into it with one of the most controversial flooring trends that I found while doing my research for you guys. And that is one that is making a big comeback that I did not think would be coming back anytime soon. And that trend is around carpet. Yes, I said it. Carpet is making a comeback. I can't even believe it either. There are top designers leading the charge on this trend for carpet, especially in the luxury space. But this is not your grandma's wall-to-wall, boring carpet. We're talking about statement-making, design-forward carpeting that's making a huge buzz this year. Kristen Dittmar, a top designer, is seeing her clients request more and more, especially the ones that are in mountain states. She is seeing clients request wall-to-wall carpet, especially in bedrooms, in order to bring that warmth into the home, especially in the cold winter months. And she says she loves incorporating plaid carpets, which really makes a statement, and it also provides a lot of visual interest and makes a huge difference in terms of adding a lot of texture and visual depth to a room. And Becky Cash from Victoria Carpets confirms this trend. She says in 2025, plush, high pile carpets in warm colors are definitely making a huge comeback. They transform an interior to make it a haven of comfort and relaxation. And designers are using carpets with a variety of very bold geometric patterns, and that can be just a different texture that's applied, so it's all one color, but there's a raised texture to the carpet in these geometric patterns, or it could actually mean a variation in color pattern to provide a very bold look, as well as add a ton of personalization to a home, which is definitely a trend that we're seeing more and more of this year. And I actually had carpet in the bedrooms of our previous home because all the bedrooms were upstairs, and I had little kids, and I did not want to hear constant running back and forth that hard floors would provide. So we did hard flooring in the hallway, and then we had all the bedrooms have carpeting, and because it adds a lot of warmth, it also adds insulation, and it definitely will add that noise reduction if that's a concern for you. And if you're thinking about aging in place, having a carpet in the bedroom is not a terrible idea. I actually care for my elderly mother, and she does have a disability, and we were told that we should not have any small area rugs in the room because they can be a trip hazard. But at the same time, she is also a fall risk for having hard flooring, and then she wears socks, and that can also create a fall risk. So what we're actually thinking about doing is installing wall-to-wall carpet that has a texture to it, so it'll help provide an anti-slip surface to avoid fall risk. Some of the patterns that you could consider if you are going to do carpet would be very simple geometric shapes, such as a hexagon or a diamond, or maybe chevrons. We are definitely seeing chevrons, and that is definitely something that's not going to go away anytime soon. So that is another option for you. I'm curious, are you guys all in for this carpet comeback, or is it something that you're like, over my dead body? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's see. This next flooring trend might be one that seems a little bit intimidating, but there are a lot of top designers that are absolutely obsessed with it right now. And that is actually these beautiful stones that include limestone as well as flagstone. And these are definitely on trend right now, and we're seeing it all over the place from places like Studio McGee, as well as Becky Owens, and everybody in between. Flagstone is a material, and limestone as well, that has been around and used in homes for many hundreds, if not thousands of years. And so something like that is going to really give you a timeless look to your home that's gonna last for generations. And that is exactly why a lot of designers love using this flooring, and it will help to bring nature indoors, which is a huge trend that we're seeing all over the home in terms of bringing natural materials such as stone and wood inside the home. Shay McGee from Studio McGee has some great examples of using limestone and flagstone, and one of them is in her own mudroom where she uses a limestone tile that's set in a herringbone pattern to add tons of visual interest and bringing those natural materials inside. Becky Owens is another famous designer that loves to use these natural stone materials, and she used limestone tiles from Dow Tile in some of her custom home projects that she's very famous for. She even used limestone in addition to marble in creating a checkered floor that also is definitely a trend, those checkerboard floors. And she uses these two different types of stone to create that beautiful checkerboard, but also it's very natural and it's a timeless look because we've seen checkerboard floors used for hundreds of years throughout Europe as well as in the United States. What makes these limestone and flagstone floors a timeless choice is basically it gives you that vibe that's like a European chateau, right? Or this timeless, beautiful home that's just never gonna go out of style when you use these large stones, and it's just gonna create kind of a vibe that is kind of old world, and like those tiles or the stones were laid many generations. And flagstone especially is a little bit less perfect, which makes it beautiful in its own right, and every stone is unique. And even designer Sarah Sherman Samuel agrees by having some of these flagstone and limestone floorings in some of her projects that she posts on Instagram. And if you're considering using a natural stone in your home, let us know what you are looking to use. I would love to know down in the comments below. If you are watching this because you are doing a flooring project in your home and you're trying to figure out which flooring you want to use, make sure you download my free flooring guide that I've created for you guys. It's a digital PDF. It's a download that you can have absolutely for free, and that is at pennymodern.com/flooring, and the link is down in the description. If you're looking for flooring that is both gorgeous as well as guilt-free, I have got some great news for you because 2025, there are all kinds of options for you that are going to be sustainable flooring options. And these can include anything from bamboo to cork to even terracotta that is definitely coming back in a big way. We're talking about flooring that's going to give you that high-end luxury look to your home, but it's also going to be very sustainable, and it's going to have a lot of other benefits to the planet as well as your own well-being. And John Hirschberg, owner of Green Building Supply, actually confirms this trend. And he says one consistent trend that we're seeing is a movement towards things like marmoleum, which is a natural linoleum, as well as bamboo, hardwood, and cork flooring. Now, one of my personal favorite eco-friendly floorings is actually terracotta, and I'm not alone. Grazi Wilson, head of creative at Ca Pietra, explains that terracotta is having a resurgence, offering everything that we desire in our home. Its warmth and rustic charm create a very inviting atmosphere, while the rich tones found in terracotta evoke memories of nature, and they actually add a lot of depth and personality, which I told you is a huge trend. Designer Holly Veltrin-Luttrell chose cork flooring for a kitchen project that she had because it just feels so darn good on the feet. So not only can these materials look good, they can feel good as well. Cork flooring also has some other properties that are really special. It can actually have a little bit of give and a little bit of bounce. So maybe if you drop something on it, it's less likely to break into a million pieces. For bamboo, you definitely want to choose strand woven bamboo in a warmer tone and these honey colored tones. That is definitely going to be on trend. Anything with a warmth to it. Bamboo is actually 3 times harder than traditional oak, and it actually will grow back in a few years. So it's very sustainable. For cork, you definitely want to choose wider planks because that's just a trend we're definitely seeing all over the place, is having wide planks, whether you're choosing wood or large format tile or even cork. You want to choose those warm, natural looking tones, and it's going to feel very soft under your feet, and it's also going to have some sound absorption, meaning it won't be as noisy in your house or as echoey, and it even has antimicrobial properties as well. So for terracotta, you can choose different types of terracotta tiles in a bountiful option of shapes, right? So one of the popular shapes is definitely, you can do square or a hexagon or a very unusual shape as well that's gonna give more of an international feel. You also can use reclaimed terracotta tiles. That's what a lot of these high-end designers use because it really gives that earthy, it makes your home look vintage and have these antique elements. So that is another great option, to have these reclaimed tiles that have some imperfections. And just remember, if something isn't perfect, doesn't mean it's not beautiful. Would you guys use cork or bamboo or terracotta in your home? Let us know down in the comments below if that's something you love or it's something you want to skip. If you want that ultra modern, seamless look that just screams minimalism, or maybe it screams an organic modern look that's trending heavily towards the modern, then this next one is definitely for you. And this is the trend that we're seeing for micro cement as well as concrete look tiles. And that is going to give you a very chic, very modern, very luxury look to your home. Now, this doesn't have to look cold and lifeless if you think of just boring gray concrete or cement. This can be very warm if done right, and it can add that very luxurious look to your home. It can also help you in terms of color drenching because you can tint a lot of these micro cements the same color as your wall treatment. And Vincent van Duysen, which is one of the world's most celebrated architects, has been pioneering this trend in some of his very high-end projects. His C penthouse project really shows how concrete can be a prominent feature in an urban loft design. It really has a beautiful contrast of rawness in addition to some soft textures that he adds through other decorating elements. Other top architects and designers such as Sierra Stribley have been using micro cement in their project. They're using it on walls, ceilings, as well as floors to create an ultra modern aesthetic. And this makes a home feel both luxurious as well as extremely livable and durable. For micro cement, one of the benefits of these products, they can actually be tinted to different shades to match your wall color. You can get a very beautiful light tone or a neutral tone such as a beige, a taupe, or even different shades of brown, and you can match your wall color to your flooring, and that way you create this color drenched or a cocoon in your room. For concrete, you can get the concrete look without the messy install of concrete by getting porcelain that looks like concrete, or even LVP. I picked these LVP tiles for my bathroom, which I feel does have a little bit of a concrete effect to it. And you can do the same by choosing LVP or even a ceramic tile that replicates concrete or has that beautiful gray with different shades and variations in it and imperfections printed onto it. The key is really choosing a gray or a flooring that has warmer undertones to it. So you can get things that are a warm gray versus a cold gray. So a warm gray is going to have those brown or beige undertones to it, or maybe even a grayish color, whereas a cold gray is going to have more bluish undertones to it, or even purple. I would stay away from the blue undertones. If you choose those warmer colors and warmer undertones, it's going to give your home that warm feeling to it instead of looking sterile. And if you guys are liking this video so far, I did try really hard to not just bring you the same old basic flooring trends. I wanted to bring you guys something that was new and different. If you are liking what you see so far, make sure you hit the like button. It helps other people just like you to find this video. And next up, we have a choice that is totally timeless, and it's going to be something that you definitely won't regret, and that is a natural wood toned flooring. And this is the one that we selected for my home. This is actually a mid-tone natural wood color. This is from Paradigm. I think it's the Paradigm Plus, and it's the color Duck. And I really like it because it looks very natural. It is luxury vinyl plank, but it has a lot of texture to it. And I feel like the print on it is very natural looking. And I love how it has both lighter and darker tones to it and colors to it, so it helps hide dirt, and if you have a stray hair or something on it, it helps hide a lot of that. I had a really light colored natural wood LVP in my previous home and it showed like every single speck of dirt. And so I personally, that didn't really work for me. I like something with a little bit more variation and that helps hide the dirt. Using a natural wood flooring in terms of either hardwood or LVP, it's gonna be a definitely great and timeless choice for your home, but which color do you pick? There's not really one clear answer, and I think it definitely is a personal preference, but I definitely recommend people to choose a lighter or mid-tone instead of something that's very light or very dark. Get something in the middle because that is going to be a more timeless choice. And when trends come or go, if you have something in the middle, you really can't lose. Shay McGee of Studio McGee explains why natural wood is a great choice because she uses it in her own home, and she says she chose natural white oak with a custom stain by Lemco Design in a matte finish. So matte meaning not shiny. You definitely want it to not be shiny and have more of a dull finish, a matte finish. And this helps make your flooring look more natural and organic, which is definitely a mega trend of bringing the outside in and having a more natural look to your home. For mid-tone flooring, there's a company called Carlisle Designs that has some beautiful examples of using a more mid-tone wood inside their projects, and that really helps give that timeless and luxurious look. Sky Hofstetter from House of Hoff Design confirms this trend shift. She says that gray floors can make spaces feel cold and flat, and they just lack the warmth as well as the timelessness that a natural, warmer wood tone is going to give to your home. And Steven Stutzky from PID Floors adds, we're seeing a huge departure from lighter blonde woods and grays to more natural wood tones such as browns and light browns. These warm brown colors are going to be trending this year, and they're definitely going to continue into next year as well. For choosing your light natural wood flooring, there's a lot of options. A lot of people are doing that light white oak, the light oak, or the bleached oak, or light ash. Definitely get the wider planks, as well as you want to have some texture and make sure that the pattern looks very natural, and that if you're getting an LVP, to make sure there's a lot of variations in terms of the pattern that's printed onto the individual planks, because that's going to make it look more like real wood. And these lighter colors definitely give your home a more Scandinavian feel, which I think is definitely on trend, and it's also a very timeless look. The one caution I have is around that white oak. People are going crazy on white oak, and they're having white oak cabinets, they're having white oak wall treatments, they're having white oak flooring, they're putting white oak on beams. It's just an overload of white oak. So you maybe want to exercise a little bit of restraint, and just remember that whenever something becomes hugely, wildly popular, like white oak is becoming, it also can become very played out, and it can date your home. Everybody's using white oak, say this decade, right? And in 5 or 10 years, people are gonna be like, that's gonna date your home to this period of time. So you might not wanna join the white oak bandwagon, and if you don't, you should try a medium wood tone. For medium wood tones, you could do a natural walnut, a medium brown oak, or a warm chestnut. And these can add a lot of warmth and richness to your home without looking overly dark and gloomy. A lot of people are having a reaction against LVP, and they're definitely choosing a hardwood or an engineered wood floor to, again, embrace those natural materials, which is a huge mega trend. But if that's not in your budget, you can choose an LVP, which I am definitely a fan of, but you just gotta choose the right one. You wanna look for those LVPs with some texture to them that looks like real wood grains, and you also wanna make sure that the printing technology on there is high definition, so it looks as real as possible. You don't want people to instantly know that your flooring isn't real. And you definitely want to choose a matte finish versus high gloss, because a matte is definitely going to give you that more natural. Now I'm going to give you that bonus section with 3 flooring trends that you definitely want to avoid if you're picking flooring this year. But first, if you want to get the latest and greatest design trends and news sent to you by the YouTube algorithm, make sure you hit subscribe, because if you do that, you will see more videos just like this. That first flooring trend that you might want to avoid is definitely any kind of a gray wood look flooring. Mohawk Flooring says that anything like gray or these cool tone gray wood looks are definitely an outdated trend. And if you have those wood look gray floors from the 2010s, it's definitely something to consider about doing an upgrade to your space. It's just very cold and sterile feeling, and it doesn't have the warmth and naturalness that looks amazing that is very much on trend this year. For this next flooring trend to avoid, it's definitely going to be a glossy espresso wood look flooring. So Martha Stewart, who is obviously a huge design expert, that glossy espresso floors are definitely on their way out, and these were something that were popular in the early 2000s. They also show a lot of dust, and they easily show scratches because the scratch, especially if you have the laminate, is gonna show up really starkly against the dark wood. It also might make your room or your home feel smaller and darker and maybe a little more depressing by using all dark wood throughout the entire home. And the third flooring trend that you just might wanna avoid is these high contrast, like patchwork looking, barnwood looking floors, especially with the LVP. So this is when you have planks that are different colors, so lighter and darker, kind of forming this pattern, or even if it's random, like has this patchwork effect. And that is something that you definitely want to avoid because it can create a lot of busyness to your home, and it can create a place where your eye is just drawn to, and it's hard for people, yourself or your guests, to really see all the other decoration or decor or vibe that you have in your room because you have this crazy pattern all over your floor. If you really love this video, make sure you hit that like button, but also if you want even more flooring trends and ideas, then you definitely need to watch this next video right here, and I'll see you in the next video.